So Anne, tell me what things have been like day to day.
Well, I don't know, I find that I just don't have quite as much joy in what I'm doing right now, and I'm lacking motivation to do the things that, I wanted to before.
It's been so hard.
It has, and, I guess life doesn't feel real to me right now. It doesn't feel real, like, what all that's happened with my sister. It feels like it sometimes it feels like something that I've read on the news, like
Wow,
this tragedy, and and how awful. But
so surreal.
yeah, but it's hard to take in sometimes that it's my tragedy. I mean, and then on the other hand, sometimes I do feel that, and that it is my tragedy, and it's just really hard to cope with.
Sure. Yeah, entirely. Just from what you were saying, from what I understand, it was pretty sudden what happened. Can you
Yeah.
tell me more about that?
Yeah. So, um, she was in a car accident, and she was going through an intersection, and another car ran a red light and T-boned her, and hit her right in the driver's side where she was, and
Wow.
she just didn't even have a chance, and she had severe brain hemorrhages, and she
Oh
just
no.
yeah, she died, you know, pretty shortly after.
Pretty immediately. Where were you when you first heard this happening?
So, I I was I was home. She lives in a different state, and
Hmm.
it's been kind of
A
hard.
ways away.
Yeah, and so for me, it came as a complete shock because I wasn't even able to be there, which was so incredibly frustrating for me.
Oh, no kidding.
That I couldn't be there, to say goodbye to her. It
How long had it been since you last seen her?
it had been a couple months, um, and we keep in contact, but we both are just so busy. She's going to school, I'm working, and it's hard sometimes to talk as often as we should. Even though we're close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's definitely something I regret now. Something I wish I could take back is that, you know,
Wish you had seen her sooner.
yeah, exactly. I wish I had more time with her. In some ways, I wish I had known so I could have, you know, been a better and closer sister to her before she passed. Um,
So much you wish you could have done.
yeah, because we were really close, my sister and I, growing up. We're, really good friends,
You
and
care so much about her.
I do, I do. Um, but we had to live in different states, and for the different things that we had going on in our lives, and
Yeah, yeah.
maybe in part that's why I didn't feel it. It felt almost like a tragedy on the news. It felt, and it's at some times, and other times it felt extremely painful. But I guess I'm not very good with dealing with that pain, and
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for me to treat it like a tragedy on the news.
It's harder to recognize it when you weren't there yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So hard. When did you first hear about it? How did you hear about it, first of all?
So my mom called me, sobbing, telling me that she had been in an accident and had passed away. And, I just, it was hard to see my mom that way. And
Such distress.
and I felt that, um, it would be easier, or I felt that I needed to be there to be her comforter.
Mm.
And,
That was your role that you wanted to take on.
right, and I felt, and maybe it was just easier to deal with things if I was, there for her and
Wow.
for my dad too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
A way that you're trying to cope at that time.
yeah. Um, because she was falling apart. Nobody should have to see their child die. Especially not in the prime of life. She was 20 years old and
So yeah.
just starting out her life. Just starting to figure out what she wanted to do, and taking college classes, and
Just get the start.
having that first college experience, and it just doesn't seem fair.
No, not at all.
It's just not right. She just, why should a person who's so young and has so much to live for, and has so much kindness, and my sister really was a good person. She was a really good person. She was kind. She was a friend to everybody and anybody. She was one of those people who, people would always turn to and confide in, because they knew that she sincerely cared.
Yeah. Just come to her about anything.
Right. It's just not fair. Why should she be the one to pass away? I've always felt like, in many ways she's a better person than me in that way. And
You looked up to her.
I did, even though I'm older. I did. I looked up to her positivity and her, just her good traits, all of her traits.
What other things did you admire about her?
I admired, that she was willing to be courageous and try lots of different things, in that she was not quite as afraid as I was. I tend to be afraid of change and of, trying new things, and she's willing and ready to jump into them. And
How was that? How did she support you that way?
oh, she'd always drag me to things. I'd always kick my heels.
Take you along.
I'm a little bit of a homebody, and
Yeah.
and and maybe this is part of the reason why this loss is so terrible is, she's probably my best friend, and
So close.
yeah, because she had lots of friends, but I just had a few because I didn't get out like she did.
Yeah. She just helped you feel like you could do things that were just beyond your comfort zone, what you'd usually be doing.
Yeah. I mean, I'd always protest at first and tell her I didn't want to do it, and she would say something like, you know, oh, it's gonna be great, you don't even know, or she'd bribe me with something like ice cream
Wow.
afterwards.
She do a lot of nice stuff for you.
But
You guys had a great relationship together, sounds like.
yeah, we did. We did have a good relationship, and I don't know, it's just so surreal that one day she's there and I can call her up on the phone and send her crazy text messages. And
You guys communicated that way a lot.
yeah, being distant, often it was like a text message or
Yeah.
But lately we just both are so busy. She's trying to do college classes, and I have work, and we're in different states, and maybe we didn't talk quite as often as we had before. I mean, didn't mean that we didn't love each other, but we're just so busy, and I just kick myself every day. What a precious time. What precious time was lost.
Yeah.
You know,
So much.
I feel just this sense of regret that I wasn't able to be there, to be there when she passed, to be there for my family.
Wish there could have been more contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, something.
What's it like for you just now that you've heard, after hearing that she was gone, that she died, that she's not here? What was that like? What is that like now?
Now it's like I'm trying to be there as a support to my family.
Yeah. Show love.
But at the same time, trying to cope with how I feel. I mean, my family, were not very good at showing emotion or dealing with emotion. We just don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier not to talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't talk about it very much with my family. Maybe I feel like talking about it will open up things up and cause pain for them and pain for me.
Certainly. Yeah.
Um,
There's so much trauma with this.
yeah, I mean, we go on with our day-to-day lives and try to cope, but it's like this heavy thing is on your shoulders and you can't quite brush it off, but it just stays on there, and it feels like it doesn't get lighter, it gets heavier as the days pass.
Yeah. just feels, just doesn't feel like anything's getting better for you or for the family.
No.
What do you feel like needs to happen there with that?
I truly don't know. I mean, how do you get over such a loss? Time, maybe, but I don't know. It just feels like there's this emptiness. There's something missing, and I just don't know how. I don't know how to feel it. That the means to feel it are gone.
Feeling numb, kind of. What are you wanting to feel?
I want to feel peace again.
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel like I want to feel like I was a good sister. I want to feel like it's okay that she is gone, and I want to feel like maybe it wasn't a tragedy, like maybe it was her time to go. Because I don't know, that's maybe the only way I can cope with it. I'm tired of feeling like it's I've lost something precious, and this important piece to my happiness, and I can never get it back,
Feels so distant.
Yeah, it just feels like how can I overcome these feelings of loss when I have nothing to feel that with. I can't replace my sister.
No.
And I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to. That I would feel horrible feeling I could replace my sister. So if I can't replace my sister, then how can I fill this emptiness?
Hard to know what to do to move on. So hard.
It just feels easier sometimes just to kind of push it away.
Mm-hmm.
And pretend like I was talking about, like it's somebody else's tragedy, but not mine. Like it's something that you hear on the news. When you hear of some terrible tragedy, you instinctively say, "Oh, how terrible." But as the days pass, you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, I wish that could be the case with this, somebody else's tragedy.
So it's just a strong desire to just push it away still.
Yeah.
And what about, and I noticed you mentioned her being on a news article, or just kind of it seeming still pretty surreal. What is that like? What is that like right now, as far as um, your perception of what happened?
Um, it feels, I don't know, it feels like intrusive